Hello and good morning, everyone. I am so excited. All right, so we're kicking off just a few minutes early. I'm supposed to be having some guys come out to cut down some trees and do some yard work. So I wanted to try to get a few minutes early so that way we didn't have to worry about any noise coming through and interrupting us. So, good morning. So, if you are new here, my name is Christine DeGennaro, and I am the host of the Coffee with Christine show. This podcast is for introverted career women who are looking for tips and tricks to improve their self care, call in law of attraction, manifest the life of their dreams, all without feeling guilty or like they're sacrificing themselves to their families to provide for their families. This is something that, I know that I've personally struggled with and something I know a lot of the women in my life struggle with too. So, let's go ahead and get here. Good morning. Today is episode number 52. It's Frisky Friday. Why Your Flaws Make You Perfect. It is November the 18th of 2022, and we are enjoying a super brisk 32-degree morning here in Delaware. I am not made for this kind of weather. This is not my weather at all. I belong on a beach somewhere. So I don't know about you guys, but I am sipping on Wawa's Holiday Blend coffee. It's one of my favorite coffees. We are going to be pulling our tarot card for today's intention. What are you guys sipping? Tell me what you guys have in your cups. What did you bring for coffee this morning? I never know where to put that down. All right. So today, the intent, if you're new here again, I always like to welcome the new people. I always like to pull a tarot card to set the intention for today's episode. I always want to say session. I don't know why I want to say session instead of episode, but today's episode. So today's card is the Nine of Spears. And as a lot of you know, I love my Game of Thrones deck. So Nine of Spears, you see the hangman symbol. They're at the war of the bastards, and there's so much uncertainty. There's a sense of this is the moment. We're here. We're living this now. We don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to tell you what, we're going to give it our all. And it's a moment of beauty. So today, there might be some uncertainty. There might be a sense of, okay, well, now what? And that's okay. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to give you some information on why your flaws make you perfect. And then I'll tell you one of the next steps that you guys can take to start moving forward. So, why do your flaws make you perfect? We all have flaws. Like, there is no one on this planet who is an entire package without having something off or quirky. That's just how we are. That's how we're made. And the people who do come across as perfect don't think that they are at all. Just letting you know. They don't think they're perfect at all. They recognize that they have their own perceived flaws. And so that's why they have that saying, don't judge until you can walk in someone else's shoes. They say that because what you see on the outside isn't what's going on behind the scenes. I mean, I've let you guys in on some of the behind the scenes here, and there is just as much chaos here as there is anywhere else in any of your all lives, because that's life. That's what happens. So maybe you feel like your skin's not perfect, or your body is not in the exact shape or condition that you want it to be in. Or maybe you feel like one of your flaws is you procrastinate all the time. I don't know anyone like that, or maybe you have an obsessive personality and you feel like you throw yourself into something so completely, and no one else has that same energy. No one can keep up with that. Or maybe you lack a backbone. Maybe you feel like you're a people pleaser. You have to be a people pleaser because you have to keep the people in your life happy. And that happens. That's not something that is a flaw, honestly. It speaks volumes about you as a person. So here's why I want you to start looking at your flaws as your unique superpowers. Okay. They make you unique. They make you exactly who you are in this life, in your story, right here, right now. That is part of your story. That is part of who you are. And there is nothing wrong with who you are, but there's also, I want to have you guys keep this in mind. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be better. If you find that you have a particular weakness that you want to work on it because you know that you want to be better for yourself. Okay. Your flaws, I always feel like your flaws, what you perceive as your flaws, are things that others think are wrong with you. And I don't ever want you to fix your flaws based on someone else's opinion. I want you to work on yourself because you know you'll feel better, because you know you have a goal that you want to meet, because you have a passion that you want to pursue. You have a unique story, and that includes what you perceive as your flaws. Because let's be real, the people who sit there and pretend to be perfect, we know that there's something out there that's not quite right or quirky, or there's always going to be something. So embrace it. Make it who you are. Embrace all of who you are as much as you can. You know, there have been a lot of people who have been told how damaging their flaws are. And I want to remind you, I'm here to remind you that your flaws make you entirely who you are. And that's who you need to be, is who you are. All right. Again, nothing wrong with striving to be a better person, to better yourself, to improve yourself on a daily basis. You should be doing that. That's how you grow. But don't fix your flaws based on someone else's opinion. Okay? So, one of the things that I know that I call this my own flaw. This is a detriment that I work on. I'm a slow processor. And what that means is I'm a very introverted person. I enjoy taking time to think things over, to figure things out, to come up with solutions. And I don't do it quickly. I like to sit and look at the different angles, different perspective of things. And I do things on my own time. And sometimes that doesn't work very well for people who have deadlines. So that's something that I know that I'm working on. And I know when it comes to my business, the best thing that I've ever done was discover some level of automation. And when you guys sign up for the programs, you guys get those emails and you get the walkthrough, and you are able to do all of your coursework at your own pace, because I want you to have that access, because I want you to feel like you have that follow through without having to rely on me personally. So, it's using your flaws as your superpower. So you put systems in place to improve yourself, to improve your life, to help you live your purpose while honing in on your strength and your weakness and using that to your advantage. So, what weakness do you have? What flaw do you think that you have that you can change your mindset around a little bit? I'm not saying, we're going to do a 180, but what flaw do you have today that you can feel a little bit better about? And this is probably where you're feeling some of that uncertainty. Remember, we pulled the uncertainty card. What flaw do you have that you want to work on, that you want to shift, and that you want to change? And make a commitment today to do just one small thing to fix it. Whether it's, you're horrible at giving phone calls. Why don't you make a phone call today? If you are absolutely clutter bug, take time and empty out a drawer. And that's just one small thing that you can do without going nuts, without doing a complete overhaul, but it's something that's going to make you feel better. If you know that you're stressed and you're overwhelmed and you have a tendency to stay stressed and overwhelmed, find something today to calm you down for a few minutes. Seriously, because what that's going to do is that's going to help ground you and let you acknowledge, like, it's okay that I feel stressed, but I also know that I can do something. I can do one small thing to feel better. And that's where the magic's at. It's those small, tiny little adjustments that you're making that work with your flaw to make your life better. Okay? So that is why your flaws make you perfect. It's part of your story. Love yourself, accept yourself, because you know what? There is no one here that's like you. And there shouldn't be. That's the whole point. There shouldn't be anyone out here who's like you because you're unique. Take that with you today, okay? You are loved, you are cherished, you are encouraged, you are hopefully inspired to go and do one small thing today that is going to help you embrace a flaw, because it's not a flaw, it's a unique quality. Okay? I love you guys so much. Now, if you want to go ahead and take a next, have opened up a couple open door sessions for next week. Monday and Tuesday, I have some time where I will be on a Zoom chat, and you guys can pop in, you can ask questions, you can stay for 10 minutes, you can stay for the full 2 hours. It is a paid session because essentially I'm renting my time out to you guys to ask questions and get guidance and all that stuff. But it's going to be valuable. It will give you everything that you need. We'll be able to walk you through some of the steps. If you already have the Sacred Life Journal, that would be a good time for you guys to come on in. If you're part of the 12-week program, that is part of the program that, when you're paying, I think you pay $127 a month. When you pay $127 a month, you get one open access. So you're more than welcome to set that up and schedule. There's a whole bunch of insights and all that kind of great stuff on the website. But if you don't know where to start, let's get on an assessment call and see where you should start. I always recommend you start small, only because when you go into an overhaul moment, when you go into an all or nothing, it gets scary. It gets scary. And because there's a lot that's shifting and there's a lot that's changing. So I always recommend getting the basic knowledge of what the core system is first. And there's a special workshop for that. And a lot of times I've found that some of my clients have stayed and done that one session, and that has been enough. My girl Kina, we did the one sit down session, and she created her plan as we walked through together, and we created a plan. And this girl went and found a better job, found a car, found a new house, found a man. She's getting married next week or in a couple weeks. So when you take the initiative, when you have a game plan in place, sometimes just that is enough to kickstart the momentum. So start with the workshop. Always start with the workshop and work your way up. If you know that you want to do the renewal, the course itself is $2,997. It's a 12-week program, and it includes the journal book. This is 12 weeks to go right along with the program. Now, you can also buy the book by itself, and it's got everything you need. It's the book on the inside. It will walk you through the 12-week program in book format. So there's that. So there's a whole bunch of different ways that you guys can work and move forward. I've tried to give something to everyone for each stage of the game. And there are special payment plans available for the renewal. And this was one of my Black Friday special announcements, but because you guys are here in the group, I'm going to announce it here first. I've extended the plan. Instead of being a 3-month or a 3-month plan for the Sacred Lifestyle renewal, I have an extended plan. and it's $127 a month, and you pay over the course of 12 months. So for an entire year, you can pay for a 12-week program. And that's pretty ballsy on my part, because you have all of this information from the get-go. And it's something that I know that this program is going to help. And I know not everyone can afford the $3,000 price point straight up. You get the most out of that if you can afford it. But with the 12-month extended plan, you're going to get the book. You're going to get a once monthly group call. You're going to get the workshops. You're going to get the worksheets. You're going to get the meditation package. That's another thing that's coming on Black Friday, is my meditation package is getting ready to get dropped. And when you purchase the lifestyle renewal, you get the meditation package in the lifestyle renewal. When you buy the extended plan, it gets dropped every few weeks. So you get certain parts every few weeks. So that is all there. So that's some information about the price points and the programs. I very strongly recommend starting off with the workbook, or the workshop, or the workbook. You can do the journal. The free workbook is up on the website as well. You guys can do that. That is something that, again, some people find that that's all that they need. And, the programs are for the people who like that guidance, who like the accountability, who need the community, who want the extra support. That's what the programs are for, are the people who need that extra support. So if that's you, let's get on an assessment. There's a link below, and there's more information that's going to be coming on the podcast. But when you get on the assessment, it gives me a really good idea of where you stand, and it allows me to come up more with a game plan customized for you. And again, I don't always recommend that people, if you don't know the system first, you have to go through a crash course of the entire system. So I always recommend starting off with a workshop and building your way up, just because small changes over time is what is going to get you having consistent, long-term, lasting results. Okay? All right, my guys. If you have any questions, let me know. Just remember, head out today. Know that you're loved. Know that you're accepted entirely for who you are, flaws and all, because that's you. And you deserve to be loved for who you are. All right. Love you guys so much. Go and live today with the utmost of passion. And thank you for joining me for your daily dose of love and caffeination. I'll see you tomorrow.